Hello and welcome to Wildcard from MUNPR, coming to you not live from our studio in number 110 HSS Tower, straight to your ears. I'm your host, Caleb Lantz, and this is the final of our series of interviews with candidates for First Year Outreach Co-Ordinator. For a brief explanation of the job of FYOC and the structure of these interviews, check out our episode with Jonah Lehmann. MUNPR has reached out to every candidate for interview, and at the time of this recording, we've recorded interviews with 5 of the remaining 8 candidates. My guest today is already quite familiar with UTK-MUN, despite being a first year, and I can personally attest to her skills as a crisis delegate. Elizabeth Kitts is a first year from Knoxville who serves as a crisis staffer for the Hatfield-McCoy JCC at 10-MUN2 and will be serving as a co-chair at Vol-MUN 11 in February. Elizabeth is looking forward to travel with the club in the spring and seeks to defeat, among others, her own twin brother in the race for FYOC. Elizabeth, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me on here.
Of course. Okay. What inspired you to run for FYOC?
I think the most important thing as a club is to get people in first thing. So, I was fortunate in that I knew about MUN going in because I had experience at Bearden, but, I didn't know where to get started as a freshman. So I was grateful that I had a fantastic club at Bearden that was like, hey, this is how you get involved, this is how you do all these different things, which if I didn't know about it, it would be not anywhere as fun as it is today.
Yeah, no, definitely. I, as somebody who did come into the club not having done it in high school, that can definitely be a rough transition to make. So the First Year Outreach Coordinator is meant to be the primary representative of first-year members of the club on the executive board. With such a large cadre of first-year members of the club, at least 14 by my count, how do you plan to make sure all of their voices are heard?
So basically, the first thing I would do is to make a group chat. So that way everyone can have their own opinions. I would have an anonymous form. So that way people don't want to say, hey, this is my opinion. It wants to be anonymous. That's totally fine. Another important thing is always being on top every single week, being hey, if you're at the meeting, here's what we did. If you're not, here's all the notes from what you missed. I think it's just general overview of every single week of hey, scrimmages on this night, where's our topic. I think just people need to be connected in the loop. I think that's the main thing people need to focus on. Yeah,
for sure. Mm-hmm. All right, moving on to our first personal question. Left, middle, or right?
Let's go left.
Left, all right. What's a moment when you felt proud of yourself as a kid?
Oh, as a kid? I think I felt proud when I had a massive argument with my older brother, who I love, and we handled it like an adults, and it was great, because usually we end up with a fist fight, that's normal, but we handled it very confidently, got like adults. I got what I want out of it, he did not, but that's okay. But I think learning to handle conflict is my biggest, proudest moment as a kid.
Yeah, no, for sure. I grew up with a younger sister, so I know the feeling. What is the central message of your campaign?
Everyone needs to stay connected. Everyone needs to feel as though they belong, because you don't want to be a part of a club and you're not in the loop. You don't know what's happening. You don't show up. I want to be someone that is always encouraging people to come to every meeting, always having fun events, always being hey, have you joined the Clash of Clans? Have you joined Fantasy Football? Just stuff that people can stay involved even when they're not actually physically in the club.
Definitely. Historically, UTK-MUN always brings in a large crop of first-year members who slowly atrophy over the years. Off the top of my head, of the 20 or so first years that I came in with, only 5 of us were still active members of the club at the end of our undergrad. The classes of 2026, 27, and 28 have seen similar rates of loss. How would you address this problem and ensure that the class of 2029 stays involved with the club?
I think first I would address the reason of why they're leaving in the first place. People get busy, lives are full of stuff, and I get that, but I think people have to realize that being in a club isn't just oh, I have to go to this event, I have to go attend this thing. It can be fun, and it should be more oh, I'm hanging out with a group of friends. So if people view MUN that way, and that's how we kind of present ourselves more of hey, we're not just public speaking and debate, we're also people having fun and enjoying their nights. So I think the way that you present yourself will help a lot, and I think just people come and go, that's part of life, and you can do what you can to hold on to them. Yeah,
for sure. Okay, moving on to our second personal questions, insights. Left, middle, or right?
Let's go right.
Right, all right. What voices have you learned to turn down in your life?
Oh, this is a fun question. I was a very much an introverted kid in high school, and everyone was you need to be out more, you need to talk to people, which I was okay, so I tried that. I got out of my comfort zone, which is, by the way, not a problem. You should do that probably, But I did it in ways that were probably not the best. Like, I made a mask of myself, and that was not fun because I had to, like, pretend like, oh, I'm someone I'm actually not. So I was listening to voices like that until my senior year of high school when I was like, this is stupid. Let me just be myself. And I was. And I realized that letting people tell you what you should do is not the best thing to do for you in life. Just be yourself, be comfortable, and have confidence that you can do whatever you want to do in life.
Yeah, for sure. There's a reason be yourself is a cliche. Some good advice there. So as you know, our elections are conducted on a ranked choice voting system. Of your opponents, which as a reminder are Wyatt Finn, William Kitts, Jonah Lehmann, Brenna Loudon, Ava Oldham, Mason Rucker, and Brooke Wilson, who will you be ranking second and third on your ballot?
Ooh, this is a tough choice because they're all such good candidates is the problem. Definitely William second because we're twins. But I know he has some fantastic ideas of like outreach. I mean, he's going to Bearden High School, talking to the kids there. He's got like 40 kids involved, which is crazy. And then third, I'll probably say Brooke. I mean, she has done phenomenal. She's been out in the group chat. She's talking to people in the club. She's really fun to hang out with. So I mean, I think those two are the top candidates.
Yeah, for sure. You've heard it here first, folks. The twin endorsement has officially dropped. All right. The position of First Year Outreach Coordinator has traditionally been seen as the first rung on the ladder of elected office in the club. Of the 6 FYOCs I can name, 4 of them went on to serve on exec in another position the following year. After your term concludes in November 2026, do you plan to pursue further office in the club, whether elected or appointed?
Yes, I would love to be part of the club. I mean, I've been with MUN for 4 years. I was treasurer in my previous club. I was like secretary. I mean, it's been fun. I would love to be treasurer, love to be secretary, love to be, I don't know, anything else. But I want to be involved in the club in the future in some sort of executive manner. Yeah,
for sure. Love to see that ambition in first year members. All right, moving on to our final question now. Beliefs, left, middle, or right?
Let's go left.
Left. What's a belief you had to let go of?
Ooh, that's a tough question. Let's do a flip on that one.
Flip that one. Okay. Fortunately, this one's been flipped on me before, so I do actually have an answer ready to go for this one. I have had to let go of the belief that everything happens for a reason. I used to believe that very, very literally, that there was a defined, concrete reason that every event happened, and I don't believe that anymore. I think that anything that happens, you make your own reason for anything that happens. If you subconsciously already want something to happen, you're going to interpret events as being, oh, this happened so that I can do this thing that I already wanted to do. Or I do not believe that everything happens for a reason. That's the short of it.
Oh, that's a cool way of looking at it. I follow that. I think a belief that I've had to let go, especially becoming an accounting student, is that hard work gets you places, because it doesn't. And as accounting, where I'm being told I have to work 80 hours a week to get a good job, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I'm discovering that the secret to getting a decent job is just talking to people and networking and being like, hey, I'm a freshman, I want to learn more. And you're a professor, what can I learn from you? Because you can work hard as you want, but you don't want to be a robot. Or you don't want to waste your life always regretting, I wish I did this, wish I traveled, wish I had a pet or something. It's not worth it. So, I mean, hard work is something, but it's not everything.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's a lot more to it than just hard work. All right, well, congratulations, Elizabeth. You've won Wild Card. For your prize, we're going to end the episode the same way we do every time, with a trip in our memory time machine. Now, the memory time machine is very simple. All you have to do is close your eyes. Now, think of a moment in your life. It's not a moment you want to forget or change anything about, just somewhere you'd like to linger a little longer. What moment do you choose?
Probably being on the beach in North Carolina and seeing a dolphin. That was pretty cool.
I didn't know dolphins went that far north.
I didn't know either. It was an accident. But yes, that's where my happy spot is being on the beach.
Yeah, no, for sure. I can definitely sympathize with that. Who doesn't love the beach?
Yeah.
All right, well, before we go, you've got the next 45 seconds to speak directly to the voters and say whatever you want. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, well, I hope I get elected. If not, that's okay. That's how life works out. Sometimes, not all the time. But I wish luck to all the candidates. I know that you guys are all going to be great. So whoever wins it's going to be highly deserving of the spot. So please vote for me, though. I love that.
Alrighty, there we go. Well, that does it for this episode of Wildcard from MUNPR. Thank you so much to Elizabeth for coming on to do this interview with us. As a reminder, the FYOC election is Thursday, November 20th at 7:15 p.m. sharp in Student Union Room 169. Western business attire is required for all candidates and voters must have cleared any money owed to the club in order to qualify. Stay tuned to our channel over the next few days for the final two of our exec interviews, and I will see you Thursday.